Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today, I wanted to take the time to talk about what they meant when they said new professions and recipes in the announcement for Phase 4 PTR. Now, that can be a little interpreted because they did say that these four reputations were getting some faction overhaul and recipes, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's only going to be those faction based ones. They could just simply add in new fun exciting recipes for us to use. Specifically, I'd love to see secondary professions get some love and sort of some in-game content, but we'll have to see what they do. But before we get into the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Everything you guys do helps my channel grow, helps me get discovered, and helps me help as many people as possible, which is the entire point of my channel. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I am going to switch it over here to the post that they made just to sort of reiterate what they said really quickly. And as you can see, this profession and reputation updates. So while it says new and enhanced profession recipes for Argentine Thorian Brotherhood, Hydraxian Waterlords, and Timbermaw Hold, that does not mean, because it says profession and reputation updates. So like these would be new recipes for the profession side of that, or for the reputation side of that, meaning Argentine Thorian Brotherhood, Hydraxian Waterlords, and Timbermaw Hold. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're not going to see professions just generally as a whole. And you know, I think a lot of people might have overlooked that wording there, because it kind of is like makes you want to believe that it's just going to be that, but I think Blizzard has an absolute goldmine of an opportunity to really do some great stuff with specifically cooking, fishing, and first aid. I've made a few videos talking about this, but secondary professions kind of fall off at like level 40. Once you hit that max, there isn't really like max content, max fishing. None of the in-game zones really have much that you can do with cooking and fishing, and so I think that they could really benefit from adding some really cool recipes and stuff. One, whether it's behind a rep or not, but an example that I've sort of harped on and thought of, like Silithus has this like entire mountain range that you can go all the way over here. Winter Spring has this entire area that you could use, as well as the lakes here. We really just see Tenaris and Ajara kind of be like the end game of fishing, as well as STV. You don't really see much after that. And then when we come over to Eastern Kingdoms, like it blows my mind that Swamp of Sorrows has nothing on its coast. The Lasted Lands you could change to have like a whole fishing area right here if you wanted to. There's just so much potential for fishing and cooking in the in-game, and it just kind of falls off a cliff. Even Deadwind Pass, you could have people fish up the entire river here, going to Karazhan, which would be amazing in my opinion. But most importantly, I think Western Plaguelands and Eastern Plaguelands are where they miss the most. So I really think that they could turn this lake into some great fishing, these rivers into some great fishing, as well as you could use Strathholm and these lakes all around EPL, or you could even open up the border here to go further over to the ocean for fishing. But I think there's just so much that you could do. Could you imagine something like Plaguelands fishing? You fish a plague fish, you purify it with first aid, and then you cook it up, and it gives you like 20 strength, but has a side effect of it reduces stam by 10 or something like that. So it's like bis food, but it also makes you squishier. So like if you're going for the parse, you got to play perfect or not die to mechanics, stuff like that. I really actually like those negative drawbacks. Even on retail, there's a flask that I use on my Shadow Priest that does damage to me, but the damage makes me do more damage. So it's pretty interesting concept, and it's been there for a while, and I think it'd be cool to see something like that implemented, because secondary professions, they just fall off so hard. And since they're already revamping with reputations, they're already revamping with other you know, recipes, and maybe even we might see tailoring specializations come into play, because when Phase 3 launched, they said we're working on other specs, and they just gave us alchemy with specializations. So maybe we'll get the Mooncloth, Spellcloth, and Shadow Ebon Weave or something. I forget what the Shadow one's called, but be able to get those cloths here in Season of Discovery, I think it would add so much depth to professions and the ability to get out there and go and craft them. And it's just a tremendous opportunity because I don't think it takes that much work. Like, they already have them, most of those ideas in TBC to some degree, so you could just copy and paste the specializations like we saw with alchemy. But it would be cool to see those things matter a lot here on Season of Discovery. And it just sort of gives depth to your class, and that fantasy gives you more stuff to do at endgame, because you can only farm reps for so much. It has been really cool to see with that announcement the amount of people that are actually active right here on SoD playing the game, going out there and farming stuff. That is such a cool thing to see, and I thoroughly enjoy seeing that. We've been streaming some groups to get together to go farm some mobs. We'll have a stream actually later today to go farm some Timber Maw reputation, and we might end up going and farming some other reps if I'm feeling up for it, but it's kind of hard to farm for 4 to 6 hours. It's a lot, and it gets pretty boring, but having people to talk to and do it with makes it a little less boring, and just the possibility of these rewards has me stoked because I'm super, super excited for every single one of them, even though we absolutely have no idea. I do wish that I could go and see them on the PTR. I did my best to sort of scout those out and see if we had any options, and still nothing. I check every time, but hopefully we get some PTR updates and can go test stuff. I logged on over there and it was pretty dead, which is a bad sign, but it is noon on a weekday, so I don't expect it to be too popping. But I really just genuinely hope they don't miss professions and just the potential for them to be that fantastic glue that really makes Classic awesome, because there's so much that they can do with professions, and it's largely optional content, but people really do go out there and do it. There are a lot of people that play the game like I do. They like to be self-sufficient. They like to go out and do it themselves. They don't just think of it all in gold per hour and make the most gold by this stuff, and they just enjoy playing the game. I farmed nearly every single rep on my original mage in Classic in 2019 just to be that guy who had every enchant, every tailoring recipe, be able to help everyone any way that I could in my guild with the crafting. So I just really hope that they focus on secondary professions the most, but I think tailoring specs would be really cool since they gave alchemy their specs. Tailoring is the only one that doesn't have it here in Classic, so I think there's a lot of room for them to do great with professions. But anyway, guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about professions, where they could go with them, how they're going to make them better. I look forward to reading what you have to say, but until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. It truly means a lot to me. If you happen to find anyone that you know would also benefit from watching this video, please share it with them. It helps me out a ton and allows me to keep doing what I love every single day, and that is gaming and sort of helping people any way that I can. So finally, thank you so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Goodbye.